talk about geography of Ladakh. Now, Ladakh, a new union territory, is divided into two regions, which is the Leh and the Kargil. Now, this is the new map of India which has been released by the census, and here we can see this is one of the biggest districts that is seen, which is Leh, and then you have the Kargil. Now, these two, Leh and Kargil, are part of Ladakh. Now, Leh is believed to be the second biggest after the district in terms of area after Kutch in Gujarat. So that is first and the foremost thing that we need to understand. The next important thing that we understand is this whole of the map. As you can see, the western part is under the Pak occupied Kashmir, the eastern part, which is the Aksai Chin, under China, and then you have a certain section which is part of the POK but has been ceded to the territory of China. So that is again very important. Now, if we look on to some of the basic characteristics of these regions, you have a predominantly Buddhist population, which is nearly 77% of the Buddhist population lies here, followed by the next major component, which is the Muslim population. Now, here Ladakh is predominantly a Buddhist region, Kargil a predominant Muslim region. As you can see, a basic difference that could be there. Now, in Ladakh you have 6 subdivisions that are there, and Kargil you have 4 subdivisions that are there. These are the detailed versions that we would understand in our next class on Leh and Ladakh. The next important thing that needs to be taken into account is language. So Ladakhi is the predominant language that is there. You have a minor tribal community which is belonging to the Aryan race, which is seen in the village of Dhahanu, which is again important. Now, talking about the people there. Now, the origin of the people is very interesting and something that you must know. So, people here originated from 3 segments. One was the Aryans. Now, these are the indigenous people, the Indo-Aryan race that we say. The second is the Arguns. Now, Arguns are the Kashmiris who moved to the region of Ladakh. And finally, you have the Mongolite trait. Now, Mongolites are again subdivided into 3. So those are, first of all, the Bhuts. Now these Bhuts are divided into 2, the red sect and the yellow sect. So that's the kind of common people that you would find here. So we are talking about what kind of people or what common people are actually found there. So that is the first criteria. The second is the Baltis. Now, Baltis are mainly the Shia Muslims that are there. Those are part of the Mongolite race. And finally, you have the Champas. Now, these Champas are Buddhist. So, that is one criteria. The next is under the Aryan race, you again have the Dards, which belong to the Dardistan region, and the Mons, which are mainly the Buddhist. Now, these Dards are further divided into either the Muslim Dards or the Buddhist Dards. The Buddhist Dards, which were from the Dardistan region, have been known as Borkpas. So again, a new name that you need to know here. And then Muslim Dards have been further divided into either Shia or Sunni, as we already know the classification. Now those are the origin of the people. If we talk about the common dance and song here, among the common dance you have Shondol is one of the most common dances and the most traditional dance that is seen here, along with Kampa Sumpak. So Kampa Sumsak is another important dance that is prevalent here. When it comes to music, Yele Ato is the most common music that is played here. So those are some of the cultural ties that we have talked about. Now talking about the region of this Kargil. Now the word Kargil originates from Khar plus Rigil. Khar means palace and Rigil means the center. So being located in the center of castles is what is Kargil, and therefore it's important. And in Kargil, the western segment, you have Dras as one of the region, and this is believed to be one of the coldest regions in the Asian region. The next is the people who are located here, as we said, belong to the various tribes and various ethnic groups, and therefore have a very significant history. Post partition, we have seen that the Kargil, this is what we actually know is the region of Kargil. But before that, you had a much vast expanse that was seen, which included greater parts of the regions of Dardistan as well. Now, this is the present map that we have, and then we have the region of Jammu Kashmir that we would understand in a separate lecture, the various districts of Jammu Kashmir. The next important thing is the history. Now, the names have been important. Anciently, it was called as a lowland or Mariul by Khachumpa, then by known as Qiashia by Fayan, who was a Chinese traveler, and Huansang gave the name as Malofo. Now, the occupied territories, as we already said, you have the northern regions of Pak-occupied Kashmir, you have the China-occupied Kashmir, which is the Aksai Chin. Now, the areas which is being occupied by various regions, and the region of the territory which is being ceded to China by Pakistan, in the topmost corner is being seen, which is adjoining to the Siachen Glacier. Again, very important, aside for the origin of Nubra River, which we would understand in a while. Now, as we said, in the ancient time, the whole of the expanse of this greater Ladakh region that we are studying right now started from the Lake Mansarovar to the region of Dardistan, or the region of Swat Valley, that is called as, which is in the present day Pakistan region. The next important thing is in the regions of Ladakh, in the regions of Leh, we have the Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Council, which looks after the development responsibility, and this LADHC was established recently in 1995. This is the region of Ladakh is now a tobacco free zone. Also, you have subdivisions that we would understand in the next lecture that we would talk about, and most of the developments here have been attributed to the king Singhi Namangyal. Now, King Singhai Namangyal was one of the most powerful kings of this region, who established a Ladakhi empire, introduced horse polo, built in beautiful buildings, and the historic 9-storied Leh Palace has been built by him. Now, if we look onto the physiography, it is further interesting. You have the major ranges, which are the Ladakh range, Zanskar range, and Himalayan range that are there, and between every of this range you would have a valley region, and in this valley region you would have the rivers that we would flow in. So that is something that is very important and interesting. But before we go into these details, this region of Leh Ladakh has been known for numerous mineral reserves. Now, gold has been seen in the regions of Changthang. Now, the regions of Changthang have witnessed gold. Then you have other important minerals which include borax and garnet, which are seen in the Puga Valley. Now, Puga Valley is definitely known for its geothermal resources also. Then you have borax, as we already said, is one of the major reserves in Puga Valley. Copper is another important reserve which is seen in both Nubra and Shyok region. So you have the Nubra and the Shyok river meeting here, and this region is the region where you have lot of copper deposits that are seen. Then you have the Sokar lake, and then you have the Somorari, and then you have here the Pangong So lake, so Pangong So, Sokar and Somorari. Three major brackish water lakes that are there, very important. And Pangong So is important because half of it falls in India and half of it falls in the China occupied territory. Okay, so that is again important. Then you also have freshwater reserves that are seen here. You have numerous valleys, Dras Valley, Indus Valley, Upper Sindh Valley, then you have the Nubra Valley are some of the most beautiful regions here. Most important town here is Leh, followed by Kargil. So in the Ladakh region, you have the most important town, which is Leh, followed by Kargil. The summers are very cool and freezing. You have temperatures going to minus 40 degrees Celsius that are seen, and you have a kind of cold desert region that is witnessed here. Now, why it is a cold desert region? Because it is basically a rain shadow area that is seen, and then top of that you do have numerous winds that are blowing in these regions. Now, coming on to a simple understanding of the mountain ranges and the classic rivers and the valley areas formed there. So let's understand this with a simple diagram here. So this is the topmost range, which is the Karakoram range. Now, Karakoram range is known for numerous passes. Bilafond is one of the most important pass, and this is a kind of strategic pass that we have. Then besides this, you have the Mustang and Saila are some of the important passes. So you have Saila and Mustang as some of the major passes that are located here. Between the Karakoram range and the next range, which is your Ladakh range, lies the Nubra river. So in this region you would have the Nubra and the Shyok river that are flowing, and these two merge close to Diskit, and this is the region which is known as Nubra Valley. So you have the beautiful Nubra Valley that is there. Now this Ladakh range, so this is the region of Ladakh range, and between the Ladakh range and the Karakoram range, so this is the Karakoram range and this is the Ladakh range that is there. Okay, so between the Karakoram range and the Ladakh range, you have the Nubra Valley. Between the Ladakh range and the next range, which is the Zanskar range, you have the Ladakh Valley or the central Ladakh region, which is one of the most populated area, one of the most fertile area, and one of the most active areas where agriculture is the mainstay. Now Nubra Valley, as we said, is very important, because through this Nubra Valley you have the caravan route from the Leh region to the Yarkhand, and this was one of the historic paths that was there. Again, you have, if you want to reach the Nubra Valley, you have to pass through the Khardungla. Now Khardungla is the highest motorable road in India and the highest motorable road in the world, and is very historically very important, and is the path to reach to the Nubra Valley. So here in the Ladakh range you would have to cross the Khardungla pass to reach the Nubra Valley region. Nubra Valley, the Nubra river originates from the Siachen glacier. Okay, so again historically very important. Now Nubra and Shyok join to form in the Indus river, and Indus, which originates from the region of Mansarovar in Tibet, enters into Indian territory through Demchok, which is the entry point at the region of the Leh district that we have seen. Okay, so at the Leh district, the boundary of the Leh district, which we would understand in another detailed class, you would have the Demchok, and here is the point where you have the Indus that flows in, and then there are various tributaries merging into Indus. Shyok is one of the major tributaries, and Nubra and Shyok combined at the region close to Diskit. So that is important. Then you have between the Karakoram range and the Ladakh range, you had the Nubra Valley. Between the Ladakh range and the Zanskar range, you have the central Ladakh region. As we said, this is most populated, most fertile region. Most of the common agriculture is apples, apricots, grapes. So lot of industries related to apricot and food processing are located there. Another most important and interesting nutritive crop here is sea buckthorn. Now sea buckthorn has a very nutritional property. It's used in beverages, juices, fruit juices, and it has a very short shelf life, so it cannot be stored for a longer duration, but is known for its unique nutritive values. Again, you have the buckwheats that are grown here, turnips that are grown here, and a kind of barley which is known as grim. So this grim is very important and the most common staple form of food for the people here, which is barley, and from this barley you have numerous food crops or the food products that are made. The next is between the Zanskar range and the next is the Himalayan range. You have another set of the regions that are there, and this region is what is known as the Zanskar Valley. Besides the Zanskar Valley, you also have the Dras Valley, you have the Suru Valley, and then you also have the Vaka Valley. So Vaka Valley, Dras Valley, Suru Valley are all parts of the region between the Zanskar range and the Himalayan range. Now Himalayan range is the range which separates the part of Kargil and the Ladakh region from the Kashmir, the Kishtwar region and the Punjab plains. So that is a kind of dividing point between the Kargil and the Ladakh area, and here these valleys have their own importance. Zanskar Valley is known for a lot of predominant Buddhist population with minority Muslims Muslims, but a majority Muslim in the region of Padumb, which is again located in the Zanskar Valley region. In the region of Dras, you would have important Shingyo river, which is seen through the Zozila Pass. So the Dras Valley, you would have the Shingo river, which is seen through the Zozila Pass. So Zozila Pass is again an important pass that is seen here. The next important thing is there are two important valleys that are there, the Dras Valley and the Suru Valley. Now the rivers going through the Dras Valley and the Suru Valley converge at a region known as Kharal. So Kharal or Kharal is the region where you have the convergence of the rivers that takes place. Suru Valley has its origin in the Penzela Glacier. So Penzela Glacier, again a very important location, because it is the location or the origin point for the rivers originating which are draining into the Suru Valley. And then you would have the merger into the Vaka Valley that is seen with the Suru River. So Suru River originating from the Panzela Glacier, going forward through the Suru Valley, finally merges at the Vaka Valley, and this is the point where you have again a fertile plain that is seen. So lot of fertility is seen and lot of fertile activities, agricultural activities predominantly are seen in these regions. So those are some of the most important aspects that we have covered in this lecture. In the following lecture on the geography of Ladakh, we would be covering the major landscapes and the major proportions. Understanding one more thing is under the districts of Leh and Kargil, as we have talked about the subdivisions which we would be understanding in the next class. Kargil is relatively warm as compared to the region of Dras and Leh. So Dras and Leh are the two regions which have comparatively cold climate as compared to the Kargil city and the Kargil area. And then you have a lot of trading which actually happens from the region of Kashmir going through the Ladakh area into the regions of Tibet and the regions towards Afghanistan. And here is where you have the carpets, the shawls that are traded a lot. So definitely Ladakh is one of the routes of the caravan route and part of the ancient trading route. And the population here, as we said, the local Indo-Aryans that were there, which were the Darth population, and then you had the Moons and the Baltis, which are some of the major populations that are present here. We would be covering many more interesting sessions on the geography of Leh Ladakh, the geography of Kargil, Leh and the Ladakh territory, as well as Jammu and Kashmir in the upcoming lectures. Stay tuned, stay subscribed for further updates. Have a wonderful day.